warm-ups on this page should be all review from what we did on yesterday. So we don't have any GCFs to worry about, but we should still be checking every time. In letter A, I see no GCFs, so I'm going to start with my bubbles. And remember, what we did yesterday that was new was that our first term isn't just going to be x and x. 5x squared has the factors 5x and x. So that's what went into my bubbles first. Then I find factors of 12, 1, and 12. We're going to try to do them all in order so that we can make sure that we get all the factors. And then once we get all the factors, remember, those numbers themselves aren't going to add up to 17. But when I do the little bridge and the big bridge, those numbers should add up to 17. Did anybody want to share what they chose for this? Jacob? In that order? Okay. So I do my multiplication, 3x and 20x, and we now need to make sure that not only do they add up to 17 somehow, but they're also going to multiply to a negative number. So if I do plus 20 and minus 3, I think I'm able to get my negative number. Let's double check our signs here. That's a negative 12. This is a positive 5x squared. And then I'm good to go here. This is my answer. If you put in your parentheses 5x plus 1 and x plus 12, you're so close. That does get you to a positive 17. However, we need to make sure that those signs match. And if I do a positive 1 and a positive 12, your signs would not match. So we need to make sure if you did that, double check your work at the end. Make sure those signs are matching up. Okay, letter B, same deal. No GCF, so I'm starting with my bubbles. 3x squared becomes 3x times x. And there's only one option for 5. It's 1 times 5, which makes my life a little bit easier. I'm trying to get to 14, so I know that I want to multiply the 3 and the 5 together. So I'm going to put them here. Inside's 1x. Oh, hello. There we go. And outside's 15x. To get to a positive 14, I'm subtracting 1. And you would check that and all that good stuff. Any questions there? Okay. And then the last one. Again, we're looking for a GCF. I don't have a GCF, so I'm going to switch to my bubbles. 2x squared is 2x times x, and there's quite a few factors of 28. 1 and 28, 2 and 14, not 3, but 4 and 7. And I think we got them all. What did we put in here? What options did we choose? I'm trying to add up to a negative 1. Anybody want to share? Anybody want to share? Reed, is your hand up? Oh, okay. So I'm going to pick this 4 and this 7. Yeah, I'm going to pick 4 and 7. I know that the 4 cannot go with the 2, right? So I have to put the 7 over here and the 4 over here. I'm going to double check. I get 7 and 8. I'm going to subtract 8, add 7. And here's my answer. You should check it, FOIL it back out, and make sure that your signs are correct. But I know I'm correct. Any questions on that? I have 2 new things that I'm going to throw at you today. The first thing, is in example 1. Do I have a GCF first of all? No. So I'm going to start with my bubbles. You're copying along. We're taking good notes. What are factors of 9x squared? 9x and x. Are those the only factors of 9x squared? What else can we multiply together to get 9x squared, James? That would be adding. What can I multiply together? 3x and 3x. Okay, so now our first term has options that we have to choose from. Let's think about our last term. Does our last term have many options? Just has 1 and 5. So this time this doesn't always happen, but if there's only one set of options, let's just put those in there so that we kind of have a place to start. Because I know it's got to be 1 and 5. Now, not only do we have to pick from these options, but remember the order is going to matter. So we have these options and we can flip them around. We're trying to get to 44, which is a pretty large number. So do you think you want to start with the smaller numbers that are closer together, or do you think you want to start with the bigger numbers like 9? Jaden? Let's try the 9x and the x. Again, remember you're guessing and checking, so if it doesn't work out the first time, that is fine. Do not feel afraid to erase what you had and start over. So 1x and 45x, I want a negative 44, so I'm going to subtract 45 and add 1. And then I'm going to double check. This makes negative 44x. This makes 9x squared. And this makes negative 5. All my signs should match. Here's my answer. Everybody good with that? Let's try another one. What about letter B? Is there any GCFs here? So we're going to do bubbles. And then what are my factors that multiply to 6x squared? There's the obvious one. 6x and x. And then there's another one. 2x times 3x. 5, again, only has one option. So when there's only one option, that's where I'm going to start with the 1 and the 5. What do we think we want to put in here? 31, pretty big number. So I'm thinking maybe I use the bigger numbers. What do you think? 6x and x? Let's try it. We're going to distribute. Am I going to be able to get 31? Looks like it. Both positives here. And check our work. Ooh, hello. And we're good. So far, so good. Okay, here's another one. In letter C, I'm going to start with GCFs. Any? I don't think so. Factors of 12x squared. The obvious one, 12x times x. What else can we use? Two x and 6x. What else? Okay, and now we got them all. 7 only has one option. So that's where we're going to start. And then what are we going to put in there? What? We want to start with the 2? Yeah, is everybody okay with that? If I do 2x here and 6x here? Does that sound about right? Let's check. I want a negative 20, so if I subtract both of these, then I should be good to go there. Negative 20x, I'm checking my signs. This is 12x squared, and this is a positive 7. So I'm good. Any questions on these right now? I'm going to make them one step harder. Okay, this is kind of a challenge problem. I'm just going to write it down here, but I'm going to erase this problem and write a new problem just so we have some room to do it. Let's do the problem. So copy this down with me. 6x squared minus 19x plus 8. This is a challenge problem right now. Okay. Any GCFs to start with? Nothing. Bubbles. Factors of 6x squared. The obvious one, 6x and x. What else? And then factors of 8. 2 and 4. Oh my gosh. We have 2 in each. So that means there's 2 options for each space, and we can reverse them. So really there's like There's a lot of options in here, right? What did I write? Yes, it is plus 8. Okay, so where do we start? I look at that middle number, I see 19. In the grand scheme of things, not a huge number, 19. So typically when I look at problems like this, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I want to start with the numbers that are smaller and closer together because 19 is not huge. Definitely not 6 times 8 huge. So what do you want to start with? Guess and check. Give me some numbers. You want to try the 2 and the 3x? Jaden's shaking his head no. Somebody tell me what you want to try. Anybody. And it's okay if it's wrong. We'll erase it. We'll try again. Okay, Branson says let's try 2x and 3x. So now that I have 2x and 3x in there, think about narrowing down your options. Remember, a bubble can never have a GCF. So out of these 4 numbers that I have here for my second option, there's only one number that can pair with that 2, right? It's the 1. So let's put the 1 in there and let's check and see if that works. So this is 3x. This is 16x. Are we going to be able to add up to a 19 with that? I think so. So here's my answer. Another thing that you should check for as you're going through these, actually, you know what? I'm going to save that comment for later. Questions on this right now? I got one more thing we're going to add on there. So go ahead and look at this next section. Remember what we did on, read question. Just this page. Jay, question?
Is there like a reason like why you choose like 3x or like for like 9x, why you choose like 3 times 3 or like 9 times 1 other than just guessing and checking?
You're just guessing and checking. So if I look at my options here, if I look at the options, I look at this middle number and that's helping me make an educated guess because 44 is a big number. So I don't want to pick 3 and 3 because 3 multiplied by 15 would get me close to 44, but I don't have a 15 as my option. So that's when I would decide between bigger numbers versus smaller numbers. But that's all you can really do other than guess and check. Okay, so 7.5D2, we talked about GCFs and factoring after GCFs. We still have to do that. We've been fortunate enough that we don't have any GCFs up until right now. Now our problems are going to have GCFs. So take a look at the letter A. What's our GCF in A? 3. So I take out a 3 out of everything here. That leaves me with 2x squared minus x minus 10. Then we need to determine, can we keep going, yes or no? Do we remember what we look for to determine if we can still factor this? Cody? The degree has to be 2. So because my degree is 2 here, I know I can keep going. If you don't have a degree of 2, that's your answer, you're done. But I do have a degree of 2. So we're going to drop our GCF down, and we're going to split it into 2 bubbles. I'm looking for factors of 2x squared, which lucky for me, there's only one option. It's 2x times x. And then for 10, I have a couple options. 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. How are we going to get to a negative 1 here? Think about it. Think about it. Cody? In that order, or do you want to flip them? Okay, so let's do a 5 here and a 2 here. We check 5x, 4x. That does look like it's going to get me a negative 1. I want to subtract 5, add 4. Now, the way that we check these is a little bit, interesting. We're going to leave these guys in their parentheses with the GCF and FOIL those out first. So I got a negative x I have a 2x squared, and I have a negative 10. And then I FOIL out that GCF. So then it should match my original, which it does. So here's my answer. This whole thing. I'm going to do 2 more, and then I'll leave you alone. Letter B. What's my GCF? Anybody know what the GCF here is? Jay says 4. I agree with 4. Leftovers, 11x squared minus 7x minus 4. Can I continue factoring? Yes, because I have a squared here. So then I drop my GCF down and I write 2 bubbles. Factors of 11x squared. Lucky for me, only 11 times 1 makes 11. So 11x and x. And then 4 is 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. What are we picking? To get to 28? You want 1 and 4 in that order or flip them? Or sorry, we're not getting to 28, we're getting to 7. We're adding to this 7 right here. I like 1 and 4, but do we want to go in that order or flip them, Jaden? 4, then a 1. And to get to a negative 7, I want plus 4 minus 11. Beautiful. And then we would check our work and all that good stuff. I'll do 1 more. 1 more, then I'll leave you alone. Let's just do this one on the right side here. Okay. I need to take out a GCF. What's the GCF here? I can factor this some more because I know that this is a squared there. So I'm going to drop that GCF down and break it into 2 bubbles. I've got options. So now we're combining everything that we did today. 10x squared has multiple options. What are they? The obvious one is 10x times x. And the other one is? And for 8, oh, sorry, that's not an 8, that's a 3. For 3, what are my options? Just 1 and 3. So let's start with the one that's obvious. I know 1 and 3 goes in there. Then what are we putting together to get to 17? We check. Both negatives. And we double check all of my signs match up, which it looks like they do. So there's my answer. Any questions on this?